Hey guys, it's Tahira, and today I'm doing a video all about the books that I want to reread this year. There are so many books that I've been wanting to reread for so long, and my goal is to have these reread by the end of 2019. But yeah, these are just books that I love, that I've read in the past, and that I just can't wait to read again and again and again. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. The first book that I really want to reread this year is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. A Darker Shade of Magic is an adult fantasy series that takes place in a world where there are multiple Londons. There is Grey London, which is the normal London, the London without magic. There's Red London, where magic was revered, White London, that is slowly being drained of its magic in a magical war, and finally Black London, which no one speaks of. And there's only one person who can go through these London, and he is Kel, who is a traveler, and it follows the story of him, and he smuggles a token from the Black London, which he's not supposed to have. But anyway, this is a really good fantasy series. I've read the first two books, A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows, but I have not yet read A Conjuring of Light, but I really want to. But it's been so long. I think it's been a couple years or more than a couple years since the last book came out, so it's been so long. But yeah, I'm just gonna reread it just to refresh my mind and immerse myself in the world so I can finish Conjuring of Light and finally see what happens in the conclusion. But yeah, I'm really excited to reread this because I love Victoria Schwab. She's one of my favorite authors. She writes everything she writes is amazing, and I can't wait to dive into her writing again. The next books that I want to finish in 2019, hopefully, are all the Adam Silvera books. So I'm more happy than not. History Is All You Left Me and They Both Die at the End. It's been so long again since I read Adam Silvera books. I love his writing. I love his books. They're always so sad, but they always are so worth it, and they're just so beautiful. He writes about queer people of color, which is just awesome, diversity, and his stories and writing is just overall amazing, so I can't wait to reread this. The next book that I'm hoping to reread in 2019 is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Everyone knows The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give follows a girl named Star Carter who witnesses the death of her best friend Khalil, who was murdered by a police officer. She was the only witness to this, so she is the only one that has to speak out about it and talk about it, and it's basically a novel centering around police brutality and racial injustice, and it's so good. This book took the world by storm when it came out. It's been more than 2 years since it came out, and it's been like #1 or something on the bestseller list since then. So this show tells you how good the book is. Angie Thomas recently released a book called On the Come Up, which I'm really excited to read. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on it yet, but yeah, I'm just gonna reread The Hate You Give until then because this is just so good. And again, it's still important to our time. Much as it was 2 years ago, it's still important to our time, and everything that happens in this book is still happening all around the world to people, and it's just a heartbreaking novel to read, but it's also a really important one, so I'm really excited to reread it again. Even though it's sad, it's something that's really important and then needs to be discussed. The next book that I want to reread is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I reread Fangirl like every now and then because I just love it so much. It's my first Rainbow Rowell book, and since I first read it, I just fell in love with it, that I can relate to the main character so much. I think that's maybe why I love it so much, but yeah, the writing is really good, and it's just mainly the main character. She's an introvert, she's shy, she writes a lot, she reads a lot, she's a nerd. It's basically me. But yeah, I think that's why I love it so much. I can relate to her a lot, and that's always great. So yeah, I'm really excited to reread it. I've read it I think already like twice or 3 times by this point, but I want to keep rereading it over and over again. Especially because she is a college student, a freshman, I believe. Well, I'm not a freshman, I'm a junior in high school, but like I can still relate to like some things related to school. But yeah, I just love Fangirl so much, and I just want to reread it again. The next book that I want to reread in 2019 is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Truth Witch is the first in the Witchland series, and it follows this girl named Sophia who is a truth witch. That means she can discern truths from lies, and her best friend Isolde, who is a thread witch, meaning that she can see how people are connected in different ways with like these threads that she sees. And Sophia has to keep her power hidden because she knows that this power that she has could be taken advantage of from many different people in the nobility, so she must keep it a secret. But yeah, it's their friendship, and this I remember I really liked this book, and I've also read Wind Witch, but I feel like it's been so long and I kind of forgot about the world and little details of what occurred. Actually, basically, I forgot everything that happened in this book. Who am I kidding? But, yeah, I just want to reread it, especially since Blood Witch came out this year, I think, a couple months ago or like a month ago. And so I just want to dive back into the world because I know I'm going to love it. I just love the plot and the premise of it, and I love Susan Downer's writing. I think she's such a great writer for especially with fantasy, so I'm really excited to dive back in the world, especially because it's been so long. This is the second to last book, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. The Sun Is Also a Star is actually becoming a movie, and that's partly why I want to reread it. This book follows the main character, Natasha, who is a Jamaican young girl who is being deported. Her family is being deported from the United States, and on her way to the lawyer's office, I believe, she sees this boy named Daniel, and they hit it off. Daniel is a Korean American guy, and he is under the pressure of his parents to become a doctor, and he doesn't want to be. He wants to be a poet. But yeah, those two hit it off, and it's basically their last day together in New York City. This book is really powerful, one, because it's just in the span of one day. It's super quick, and it discusses a lot of important things like pressure, parental pressure, and immigration and deportation. Which is cool, but just their beautiful love story that happens in just one day is just so cute. Like, I know it's kind of insta-lovey, but the way that they connect and the way that it's not like instant, like, oh, I love you, but the more they spend time with each other over, like, I know it's only a day, but over the day, they start building more of a connection, and they start getting closer and closer until they finally fall in love. But yeah, it's just a really beautiful book, and I can't wait to see the movie and how this plays out on the screen. It's just one day, so I'm interested to see how they do that. But yeah, this cover is also super pretty. But yeah, I just really want to reread it because it's quick, and of course the movie's coming out. And the last book that I've been wanting to reread for a while is Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I've been wanting to reread this lately because I had no plans of rereading it. I've already read this before, but Hannah from A Clockwork Reader, when she read it a few months ago, she was raving about it and how much she loved it, and it just put me in the mood to read it. And the premise also sounds really cool, so I just want to read it again. Kristen follows this girl named Kata who is born with the ability to kill a man with her bare hands, and she must keep this a secret because she is a Graceling, a rare person that has magical powers. She's actually also the king's niece, but she has to work as the king's thug because of her power to kill, so the king basically uses her to his advantage. Then she meets Prince Po, who is graced with the ability with combat skills, and they hit it off, and it's their journey as they figure out a dark secret that involves their graced in the Gracelings. I'm really excited to read it. It sounds like such a cool fantasy concept, and I know there's been similar things in other books, but yeah, I'm just really excited to read it because it sounds like really good. And I know I've read it before, but again, I kind of don't remember anything that happened. And Hannah from A Clockwork Reader put me in the mood to reread it, so I really want to reread it this year. I've also never read Fire and Bittersweet, I think, or Bitter Blue. I think is called the second and third book, and I haven't read it, so I really want to read this and then go on to those books and see how they are because I've heard really good things about the series overall. That is it for all the books that I want to reread this year in the year of 2019, but let me know down below what are some books that you want to reread soon if you want to, as I would love to know. But that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!